There's an undeniably grim charm to Have a Nice Death, a side-scrolling hack and slasher where you play as the charming Grim Reaper himself. Souls are pouring into the afterlife, and it's up to this overworked CEO to kick his undead employees into shape and get things under control. And even just from this early demo build, it's a roguelike I'm already excited to lose hours in. Have a Nice Death manages to set itself apart from other action roguelites in plenty of ways, but perhaps most strikingly is its art style. Its character designs are absolutely delightful, from your tiny but expressive Grim Reaper to the creative baddies you'll cut down with his scythe. The paperwork-filled offices of the afterlife are also a treat. They're primarily black and white, but Have a Nice Death uses different shades of gray and splashes of color to impressive effect. As usual with roguelikes, you explore a series of procedurally assembled levels, each capped off by their own boss. All the while, you'll be killing smaller baddies and improving your character while trying not to die and get sent back to the start for a fresh run. If you do, your accomplishments along the way will earn you a persistent currency that you can spend between attempts to unlock more items to stumble upon in future tries. An action game is only as good as its combat though, and here Have a Nice Death feels great. While your moveset isn't overly complex, it is immensely satisfying to use. Your primary scythe swings fast right out of the gate, making it easy to chain together simple single-button combos with aerial maneuvers and quick dashes. It's your bread and butter, and a pair of NPCs you can find will let you upgrade and modify it in interesting ways. That could just be more damage, or it could evolve your scythe into options like a slower but longer range version that flings its blade forward on a chain. You'll also find secondary weapons as you progress, which add more options to your moveset and a bit of strategic variation to each run. Some of these are cooldown-based weapon attacks, like a heavy hammer, while others, like a fire arrow, instead use a refilling magic meter. Combat admittedly remains a little bit straightforward despite these, but the attacks of different enemies push you to be mobile and get creative with all the tools at your disposal in a way I really enjoy. Another clever twist on the usual roguelike structure is Have a Nice Death's skill tree system. There are 3 randomized skill trees you can work your way up to unlock boons during each run, but the trick here is that you can see ahead of time which points on each tree are cursed. The buffs that are offered will get better as you go higher into a given tree, but you'll inevitably hit one with a curse that will make things harder for you as well. That added a fun extra layer to picking every upgrade as I looked ahead at where the next curse was looming in each tree. One thing I did find potentially concerning about Have a Nice Death so far is that the enemies don't drop anything on death the majority of the time. You'll frequently be locked into amusing arena encounters that reward you with money once you kill all of the baddies, but eventually I realized there didn't seem to be a huge incentive to kill the regular enemies between them. But that's where Have a Nice Death's early access plans are encouraging to me, as it's the type of thing that could certainly be tweaked if needed. Developer Magic Design Studios tells me it plans to at least double the amount of content by the time it reaches 1.0, and it's been proven time and time again that this sort of game is perfect for the evolving, reactive process of listening to a community and making adjustments that is early access. What's here is already a lot of fun, but it's also an encouraging glimpse of what it could grow into as well. For more recent previews of upcoming games, check out our first looks at World War III or Blacktail. And for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.